There's that one person in your friend group who never shows up. Always has a reason. Tired, not feeling well, maybe next weekend. But here's what most people miss. They're not avoiding anyone. They're protecting their peace. If a Friday night in your favorite pajamas genuinely excites you more than going out, you're in the right place. Because today we're getting into the psychology behind people who love staying home. The ones the world calls boring, but science describes very differently. Extroverts gain energy from being around others. The crowd, the noise, the constant movement, that's their fuel. But for introverts and people who crave solitude, every social interaction quietly drains them, even the enjoyable ones. Home isn't just a place for them. It's the only thing that actually restores them. Psychologists have a name for this. It's called optimal arousal theory. Some people need high levels of stimulation to feel alive. Others function best with very little. It's not fear. It's not laziness. It's simply how their nervous system was built. But introversion is only part of the story. A lot of people love being home because it's the one place where they feel completely in control. Outside is unpredictable. Loud strangers, sudden changes, meaningless small talk with people who aren't really listening. At home, you decide the lighting, the sounds, the entire atmosphere. For someone with anxiety or high sensitivity, that's not a preference. That's a necessity. Here's something most people don't expect. Research shows that people who genuinely enjoy solitude tend to be more creative, more self-aware, and stronger at problem solving. Staying in isn't doing nothing. It's where real thinking happens. Not in a packed room, but in a quiet space, alone with a book or a thought that arrives at 2 in the morning. And let's talk about the pressure society puts on being out there. The highlight reels, the social media moments, the constant message that real living happens outside your door. But what if your version of a full life looks like a documentary, a warm bowl of something good, and absolutely no obligations? That's not emptiness. That's knowing yourself. Now there's a harder side to this too. Some people stay home not because it recharges them, but because leaving feels impossible. Social anxiety, old wounds, depression that quietly asks why bother. For those people, home becomes a shelter that slowly starts to feel like a trap. So it matters to ask yourself honestly, does staying in fill you up, or does going out just feel too heavy to carry? One is genuine peace. The other is something worth paying attention to, but for the people who truly love being home, they aren't missing out on life. They're just living it differently. They find real satisfaction in small, repeated moments. The morning coffee made exactly right. The perfect spot on the couch. The way afternoon light moves across a familiar room. Details that most people never slow down enough to notice. Psychologists call this a low stimulation preference. These people don't need the outside world to keep them entertained because their inner world already is. They're not waiting for something better to come along. This is what they actually want. So if you turn down invitations without spiraling into guilt, if a solo Saturday genuinely feels like a good day, if rewatching something familiar sounds better than chasing new experiences, you're not broken. You're just someone who values depth over noise and quiet over performance. Tell me honestly, do you love staying home? Or do you think people like us are just finding reasons to hide? And if you want the kind of psychology content that actually makes you stop and think about yourself differently, the next video is already waiting. Go watch it.